The chairman of Fiscal and Tax Reform Committee, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, declares that the tax document that the National Assembly is circulating is fake and it doesn't have the harmonized copy of the tax document. Listen to the reaction of Rufai of Arise TV.
I'd like to talk about Taiwo Oyedele this morning, and I was very shocked when I saw his intervention on television. Equally, Taiwo Oyedele came out to say that, oh, I don't have information too, as regards what the National Assembly is saying.
So he doesn't have a harmonized
So he doesn't have the harmonized copy. So somebody will have thought that you were part of the process. Even if it's for your own personal safekeeping, once the harmonized copy came out, you couldn't get a copy? And then you're now saying, oh, what they're probably circulating is fake. How is it fake? You don't have the harmonized copy. And then you went further to say on national television that you even called somebody on the committee that what they're circulating is fake. Were you supposed to call somebody and talk to the person on the committee investigating the shenanigan as regards to fraud? They were talking all the, let me use the word, alleged fraud or alleged forgery. Then the next thing, the way Taiwo Oyedele tries to limit it to a procedural matter, I mean, that even indicts the government even more. So we can't get a gazetted copy to align with an harmonized copy in this country. And you're saying it's maybe procedural issue because we have to enter it manually, and you're trying to excuse the ineptitude, trying to call us stupid to our face. I mean, harmonized copy moves to the president. He signs it. National Assembly clerk gets harmonized copy, moves to the president. He signs it. When he signs it into law, we gazette it. It should be one long paper trail. National Assembly, presidency signs, gazette comes out. So if you are now telling us procedural issue based on that, and you're trying to say, oh, it's an age-long Nigerian problem. In fact, I think it stops short of saying it's a good crisis at some point. Maybe we can learn from it. We can learn from this ineptitude.
It was putting a spin on it.
It was putting a spin on it. Should it have even happened in the first place? Do you know what that does to your integrity? You're in the center of all of this. You help crafting with all of this. Then the last phase of the gaslighting I heard from Taiwo Oyedele was the fact that, oh, then he starts to sell what will be the benefit if we don't pass the law in January and we don't start the law. You know, that the tax cuts for workers, a reduction in taxation and everything. I mean, so you didn't know that before, you didn't know that was going to happen before you cleaned it. Then you now gave the advice in the end and said, okay, yes, you know, we can just deal with those areas, expunge them from the laws while we settle the matter out. Yeah, I mean, that's a decent advice in the end. But you're now trying to sell what will become, I mean, you took a year to work on this. Was that this? We're saying do things properly. You know, this might be true, this might not be true, we don't know.
Yeah.
But the committee has to see to be able to tell us. But once somebody points out something that's an indictment on you, you've done a lot of things wrong in the first place. Number one, you've called somebody that's on the committee and you're pointing out something that is fake to him. I mean, so in the bid of trying to limit it and say there's fake news, misinformation, blame the media, gaslight people, punch them in the face and tell them you don't know what you're thinking about. And while all of this goes on, you now try to mitigate it. I say it's a procedural problem. That's the problem I have. Because when you call it procedural, it shows that people and the process in government are not being done properly. Dear Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, I mean, you are a top shot in a consulting firm. You were brought in to be able to mitigate those procedural flaws. We just won the investigation. By the way, I hear the House of Reps will be going on recess soon. So probably even if we go on recess, we'll not be able to get a report of what has transpired. Probably to next year, and the law will already be in effect or might not be in effect. I mean, the confusion, like Fela says, just breaks everybody.
Yeah, if the law is in effect, which of the laws will be in effect?
I mean, I don't even know.
So I think
because the National Assembly guys are definitely going to go for Christmas break at some point. And I'm not sure they're going to finish the investigation, or maybe they're going to finish it expressly.
The natural conclusion would be to put this on hold.
No, but Taiwo was telling you that if you put it on hold, that all the workers that have been, you know, being hurt with the former tax regime will cry
I think
blood.
In the interest of due process and for integrity's sake, and because this is not a matter to be taken lightly, if indeed what is being alleged by Honorable Dasuki from the House of Reps Sokoto PDP, that what the harmonized copy, what they passed as from the National Assembly is different from the gazetted copy, then we cannot go on to implement a law that is under scrutiny. I think that's just basic. Whether or not it's in the interest of Nigerians, which it is. I mean, we've debated and talked about the merits and demerits of the joint tax law, joint tax reform. However, if there is a tampering with the outcome of what the House National Assembly passed, then it shouldn't happen. If the National Assembly is unwilling to make the sacrifice to not go on recess until this investigation is concluded, then we ought to wait to see the conclusion, because we cannot be implementing a law that's under scrutiny or is said to possibly even be fake or possibly has been tampered with. I think that's very important. What happened with Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, and I give kudos to him because I have said again and again that he did a fine job with this joint tax law. Very controversial. A number of people had things to say about different aspects. Some people agree or not agree with some of the areas like the capital gains tax and other things, other areas. But in terms of the formula sharing, the benefit to especially low-income earners, that has been highlighted. However, due process must be followed, and I believe that Nigerians deserve to get to the bottom of this, as it is criminal in nature if that law was tampered with.